Looks like J. Cole is gearing up to drop another project, the off season, and we know we all waiting on the fall off. You know what I mean? We definitely waiting on that. But the off season, damn, a lot of people are speculating that it may be clothes and sneakers, and they hoping that it's not, and it's actual music. But as you see on the picture, that whatever he got planned to drop, I'm more intrigued on what is the "It's a Boy" project. I know J. Cole had a kid or whatever, but I'm wondering if that has anything to do with music. But the off season, so that's supposed to drop before the fall off, and we all know what the fall off is going to be about. You know what I mean? That 1985 record, most people call J. Cole a prophet because he predicted it. I mean, but honestly, it was inevitable that was going to happen regardless. That we knew the ones that was going to still be here and the ones that wasn't going to be here anymore, though. The funniest one is it has to be Lil Pump. That's just fucking hilarious. But the off season, I don't know, because mixtapes nowadays, it's not really a thing. I mean, they are, but it's not like, he does his own production and shit like that. So I won't really look at it as a mixtape. I'll look at it more as an album because I know he's going to use original beats. Well, I'm guessing. I don't know. But, if it is a mixtape, it'll be dope to see him just use different beats that he rap over them. I know that sounds so weird because most people don't like to hear niggas rap over other people's beats if it ain't Lil Wayne, whatever the case may be. But shout out to 38 Special. She just did a project last year, dropped it on Christmas called 1995, where he rapped over some of the most notable beats from that year. So I think it's still dope. But it's been a minute since J. Cole dropped a project. Shit, what was the last album he dropped? Was it KLD? Right? I think that's it, if I'm correct. You know what I mean? The lackluster Dreamville 3. A lot of people would sit there and argue that, but that shit, it was all right. It wasn't really what I thought it would be. Yeah, so I think it was the last album he dropped was KLD. That's been a minute ago, and people still had, shit to say about that. To me, 2014 is his best project album. You know what I mean? So for him to be able to drop another one out of nowhere, I think the reception is pretty high. I know the anticipation is very high, but I think that when it drops, that people gonna really, really dig deep. You know what I mean? The Snow on the Bluff record he dropped, and I think he dropped a couple other tracks, some Lucy's or whatever, last year. Yeah, so it's been really a minute since Cole actually, put out a body of work. So I don't know where he gonna take the music. I think he's gonna retire this year. If I'm looking online and reading the right shit, it's speculated that Drake did say in that song that he planned to retire when he's 35, which he turns 35 this year. That's another video that would be interesting to talk about. What would music be like without a J. Cole, Drake? But yeah, the off season, shit. I mean, what could he talk about? I mean, the world got crazy last year. You know what I mean? But it's like the NBA shit. I get it. Off season. What is Cole's perspective on him not being in the game per se when he drops a body of work? He goes and disappears, but he can look at the game that he's not in, but he's a part of, while he's gearing up to drop more music. So I don't know. It just depends on where he gonna take it. I mean, it's hard to even imagine like what, as a fan of J. Cole, what I would want to hear from him. But I guess his take on, rap, his peers. I wouldn't even be mad if he did more songs like he did with the little joint that had Wale and his feelings, and Kanye kind of pissed off. You know what I mean? False Prophet. If he did more music like that, I wouldn't be mad at it because, I mean, I would love to know what do you really feel about all this streaming shit and people going multi-platinum and these people getting these awards that makes no fucking sense. You know what I mean? The culture as a whole, I would love to hear his take on it. You know what I mean? Be more outspoken, I guess I'm trying to say, from the perspective of music and being that you on not the sideline. Shout out to his first album, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like the off season is basically, you just watching and seeing what's going on and shit. So I don't know. Hopefully it's dope. You know what I mean? I do feel like that Kendrick and Cole album ain't never fucking dropping. And I thought that if it was, it would have been a perfect time to just drop that shit last year. It would have made so much sense. So I don't think that's ever gonna drop. And by the time it do, even if it do drop, I don't think we gonna give a fuck like that. So I mean, we waited 10 years to get Jay Electronica album, and we see what happened with that shit. So yeah, man, I don't know. I just want to hear some music from J. Cole. Period. You know what I mean? It's been a minute. I'm not saying he's the greatest rapper ever though, but I've been a fan of Young Simba for a while, since his mixtapes days, and all his albums are cool. You know what I mean? I don't pit one above the other, but 2014 is probably my favorite album from him. A lot of people like his sophomore album. I thought it was cool. You know what I mean? But his debut was straight to me. The honestly, hold on. The debut album, it was a fucking mixtape that dropped that was like the Sideline Story Sessions that was fucking fire. And I was like, okay, that definitely should have been a debut album, because I don't even know if you could still find that project, but that shit was crazy. And his debut was cool for what it was. The third album, we know what that is. And yeah, For Your Eyes Only, the album that a lot of people do not fuck with, even though J. Cole basically said it wasn't really for anybody but just, his friend's kid or whatever. I think his friend got murdered or whatever, so that was just like a letter to her telling her about her dad, I do believe, if I had got that right. And then, KLD, I thought that was dope that he meshed what he do with the new sound that was popular, was the mumble rap type shit. And notably, low key, Lupe kind of did the same shit with that one album that people wasn't fucking with, Drogas Light or whatever. If you really listen to it and listen to the beats, even though he said that was just some shit he was working on, but he seen what the trends was, that shit was dope too. Wale Shine album kind of had those moments as well, where you trying to figure out what you can do and match it with what's going on currently though. But this video not about them. But yeah, I'm anticipating the off season. If it is a project, I'm just hoping it's not no fucking merch or no shit like that. That would just like, I don't know, that I think that would be weird. I think that'll throw fans off, because even the picture he posted with a new, like, I guess that's his clothing line or whatever he working on with his sneakers and shit. Yeah, I'm just hoping it's not for merch, because that would suck. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it real. It's been a minute since niggas heard a body of work from a nigga, and I think fans deserve music at this point. Clothes and shit like that, who give a fuck about that? I think people want to hear his perspective on the world, what's been going on. You know what I mean? And with his personal life, the world, and just certain things. Because, I mean, once he dropped that Snow in the Bluff record, that shit opened up my eyes totally differently. Like, oh, shit. So, all right, you do see things from a certain perspective, and you have a way of wording it. And I forget the girl, No Name, if that was her name, whatever, whoever she is. I haven't seen her on social media ever since, like, she went on a little tirade and he did what he did. The little back and forth happened, and that's it. So, yeah, that shit was crazy. I would love to see more records like that. You know what I mean? Just his take on certain things that he see, and what does he really feel about after the 1985 record came out, and then seeing how everything happened in online. People was like calling it the 1985 effect. I would love to hear his take on that. You know what I mean? But that's just me being a fan. So off season, definitely looking forward to that to fall off. But whatever happened to what was the album supposed to drop? Was Dead Edward or whoever that nigga was on a KLD album? Kill Edward. What's up with that album? I definitely want to see if that was really a thing or that was just him bullshitting. You know what I mean? Because I thought that would have been kind of ill to just see that. Whoever Kill Edward is. You know what I mean? But, all right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and let it go. I've been talking for too long about really nothing at this end of the day. But yeah, I'm looking forward to new Cole music, new Kendrick music, new Drake music. And I may talk about that in one more video though, so maybe you'll get it, maybe you won't, who knows. Stay tuned. As always, stay safe, stay blessed. Happy New Year. Y'all be cool. One.